So I was watching this episode that we're about to talk about yesterday,
I'm so sorry.
and my wife was down watching it with me for a bit of time, and she was kind of like, this really doesn't seem like Star Trek. She was like, it's very. She was watching like what I think is like probably one of my least favorite sequences in any Star Trek episode, which I was remembering watching this, which is like the stuff where Raffi and Seven are fighting like in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And that was like the one part of this that I was like, oh yeah, this. Like I
I
remember
didn't
this.
remember this. And then I was just like, why is
And how
this
unpleasant it is.
happening?
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to save the world and also, like, keep making little passive-aggressive comments about your relationship drama? I,
Right. And so I remember that from my previous watch of it. And she was just, she's like, everything is like so emotional. Like they're not like doing anything. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, it gave me an opportunity to kind of jabber on about the thing that you and I always talk about which is like one of the failings of this, of the new Trek stuff is like, they're sort of like focused on like kind of emotional stakes, like way over like the, actual progressive thought and action stakes, and so we're talking about that, and then I kind of was talking, the scene is going on, and I'm getting increasingly like more annoyed by it, and then I was like, I think that like Raffi is arguably the worst main cast member who's ever been on a Star Trek show.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Kim was like,
I've
and Kim was like, that is a tall order. Like, and so she was like, is she worse than like Trip? And I kind of think that the answer is yes. But I was like, I think that at the very least, she's in like the bottom three. And so I know we've talked about this a little bit in the past.
Yeah, and I feel like I have generally defended
curious,
Raffi more than you. She is rough in this episode. Like, this one I was just like, this kind of inexcusably just bad.
Yeah, well, I think this is largely why I feel that way, what I was just saying about her. Because, yeah, I find her just so kind of, like, intolerable in this season in particular of the show. But I wanted to ask, like, is there anybody else who you're like, okay, like, this person is arguably in, like, the pantheon of, like, the worst ever?
It'd be tough to. I mean, yeah, I guess like you've seen more Enterprise than me now, probably.
Yeah.
And like, but the thing is, everyone in Enterprise is just like, Trip might be the closest, but I feel like the rest more just strike me as like uninteresting than like unpleasant to watch, or you're just like, ugh, right? Like I don't think I have anything bad to like. I don't think the guy that plays Mayweather is, unfortunately, like, I don't think he's that good of an actor, and like the character is just so nothing, but like it doesn't make me mad that right? Like, it's just kind of like, oh, Mayweather, I guess. Yeah. But like, yeah. And then I don't, right, again, like Tom Paris is like a bad person, but like they try to do, like, he's got like some redeemable qualities arguably, and just like I'm trying to think of anybody, again, like, I guess there's Ash Tyler. Ash Tyler is going to be close. Because I think. But like, yeah, like even like Lorca is like I like Oscar Isaac as an actor. Not Oscar Isaac. Jason Isaacs. Sorry, I also like Oscar Isaac, but Jason Isaacs.
Jason Isaacs doesn't even come close to touching this Hall of Shame.
And yeah, and like opinion. I guess the other Discovery people, right? Like, Stamets is annoying. Tilly can be kind of rough sometimes. But yeah, I don't think I'd put...
Tilly's a tough hang for me. So this is what I was like, I think, because I went through all of the series, and I was like, who's the worst main cast member on each show? I was like, okay, so I think the worst main cast member on the original series probably by default is either Chekhov or Uhura, which is, whatever. I like both of those guys a lot, so like there's just like those are all good characters, and I like all of them.
I got no complaints about anyone on the original series. Yeah, I think Chekhov sometimes gets like misused. Sure. Then you've got Wesley Crusher, I guess we can skip the animated series because it's just the same cast, unless like you have real problems with Eric's or something.
Yeah. Razor Gusher, obviously the worst character on that show. I think to me, then probably for Deep Space Nine. I think you're again kind of Kira is like obviously like the problem character.
Yeah,
there.
And Kira's one that I think I
much prefer Kira, even though I don't think that like Visitor is very good in that show. I still am like, well, I'll take her over, whoever.
Yeah, and I'm more here for Kira than I think a lot of people. Kind of in that like potential sense of just like I can see why this, like, there's interesting things you should be able to do with a character that like has this kind of background, but
then Voyager, I think Tom Paris is the worst. Kim thinks it's B'Elanna, but I like B'Elanna more.
I like Roxanne Dunst. I think B'Elanna may have more unfortunate episodes. Right, like Tom Paris is just kind of baseline, just like the character as designed is just like not a great guy. I think B'Elanna, it's more that like whenever they like really focus on B'Elanna, it's not a good time. But I like her more. Like if it's not an episode about her, I feel like I generally like she seems cool.
Yeah, for sure. So then, worst character in Enterprise, I do think is Trip. And I would say this is like the first show where I would say there are probably multiple characters. Well, I guess like I don't like hate Sierra Clofton, but like he's pretty nothing in.
Yeah, he's kind of rough sometimes.
Maybe he would like sneak in. Maybe he'd sneak into a bottom 10, but I think probably though Enterprise is the first show where I maybe say there's multiple people who could sneak into a bottom 10 for me. And but I would say that like I think easily still though the worst one of them is Trip.
Sure.
And then probably after that, I don't know, like Boomer maybe, like or maybe Malcolm.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like both Boomer and Malcolm, there's just like the problem with them is that there's nothing there. Like there's nothing. There's nothing you can say about either of them. Kind of either way.
I will say, unfortunately, that the more I watch the show, sorry to say that, like the less I like Jillian Blaylock.
Sure.
I feel like they just kind of they really don't know what to do with that character.
I think again, like at least like the last few we've watched, I wonder if part of clearly not the only problem with Enterprise, but part of the problem is just like I don't know. I feel like most of them are not great actors.
Yeah.
Especially compared to...
that show, it's more like, well, easily we know who the best characters are, which are the two best characters are Archer and Phlox. Yeah. But yeah, then in the new shows, it's got to be... I think it is Ash Tyler.
Yeah, it's got to be Ash Tyler.
But there's a lot of other people I don't like on those shows, certainly. But Ash Tyler is certainly the worst from Discovery. I mean, honestly, I would probably put... I'd probably put Michael on that list, and I put Tilly on there, and maybe Stamets also.
So, right, which you've just listed like almost the entire main cast except for Doug Jones. Yeah. Right. Like, is that the only?
I mean, yeah. I wouldn't put like I don't know. Sometimes Michelle Yeoh,
but she's always just like a featured player. I guess this maybe season 2.
It's time to do one of our favorite pastimes on this podcast, which is, and don't worry for people who are like, well, they've been like talking 10 minutes and they're not like, we don't have a lot of good stuff to say about this episode. That's why we felt. That's why I felt
this is a good episode to do this on.
Doing this. Yeah. So it's time for one of our favorite pastimes, which is figuring out like who the cast members are in each of the seasons of this show.
Sure.
So it's always all 5 seasons. It was Michael, Saru, Stamets, and Tilly. And I would say I don't like Michael or Stamets or Tilly. Stamets, I actually kind of like, I think got a little bit less abrasive over time. I ended up liking him more. Other people who have been on the show, Culber's good. I like Culber a lot.
That's I didn't realize he was ever listed as main cast. But yeah, I think he's...
We talked about this recently. I think you at that time you were like, oh no, he was main cast for most of it, but that's just the weird credited thing from that.
Sure.
Then
he's always been on the show, but I guess I think Wilson Cruz is good. I think Culber is like kind of intermittently like he's unfortunately used as like a rough mouthpiece for like monologues about how everyone's feeling sometimes.
But he's a good actor, though.
I think Wilson Cruz is really good. Yeah.
And then Ash Tyler, who is horrible. He's horrible. Like,
Sure.
There was one season where the actress who plays Dee Non, which is like still
wild.
one of the craziest. It's like she has less to do in those than Boomer does in Enterprise. Like,
I think she's like it's fun. I think she's good. But yeah,
she's fine.
It's
for like 3 seasons, Adira was the main cast.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Whatever. I don't love Adira.
Yeah, I don't love the character.
Then I guess Jet Reno was a regular for a couple, which was weird to me because I really don't remember her being on the show. Certainly, she wasn't on the show enough because every time she's on the show, I'm like, oh, why isn't the show about her? She's great.
Right. She's only in like kind of intermittently. I wonder if that's just so they could get to say they had Tignitar on the show. She's great.
Then Rayner is a main cast member in the final season of the show.
Cool. Okay.
Which I like. Yeah, and then Jason Isaacs was on the first season. He got the and. So as Lorca, Pike was the main cast. We got the and in the second season.
Terrific.
And then Book got the and for like I don't know 3 or 4 seasons or 2 or 3 seasons as well.
Yeah.
And then for
Michelle Yeoh was always just
she was special guest star. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
even though in like the middle, like definitely the third and I think most of the second, like she was in most of the episodes.
She's in most of the episodes she's in a lot of the episodes anyway in the first season too. She's in like the first 2 as herself, and then she's in several of the mirror ones. Anyway. But no, I mean Ash Tyler, get out of here. Like, but then I was like, I don't know, I could see putting those other people on there. I could see putting Michael and Stamets and Tilly. By the time the show ends, I really don't like Tilly, but like, Tilly is just so embodying of like the kind of like humorless millennial snark that I think that the show traffics in. But
just say things in like the shape, like a certain like shape and inflection. It's funny.
It has the cadence of a joke, as they say. But then from like skipping this show for a second, it's like I don't know. There's not really any characters I dislike from Strange New Worlds. At least certainly not enough for me to be like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, not that I can remember.
But I don't know. Probably like maybe I don't even know who I would say. I like most of those people.
Maybe Chapel is probably the closest.
That's probably I would say Chapel. Yeah. And that's less because she's bad and more just because I'm like, well, I know, like,
I want my Joel Barrett back.
You're not Joel Barrett.
It's just it's just that she's not Chapel. It's like if you had just created a different character for her to be.
Yeah, you called her like Synagogue or something instead.
Sure.
That wasn't a Jewish joke. I was just trying to think of like the first
synonyms for places of worship.
The first other places of worship. Actually, that reminds me. I don't know if I've told you this joke before. I came up with a good joke when I was overseas.
Oh no.
What is Darth Vader's favorite house of worship?
What? No.
Well, you actually almost just got it. It's what? That's what I should have said. If she was a new character named Watt. But anyway, and then like I don't know, I like everybody on Lower Decks. Oh, there's Prodigy. I didn't think about Prodigy. Prodigy, my least favorite character is all of them, maybe except for like 1 or 2. But like, I mean, Dal is pretty. Dal's bad. So I'm gonna amend that to say I have a bottom 4. Then I think my bottom 4 are Trip, Ash Tyler, Raffi, and Dal. From Picard, I would say also like you could if you threw the guy who I don't remember his name, who's dead in this season. Like he's not as bad as Leslie, but like he's like
count.
he's
Yeah,
so
the
nothing.
Australian
He's so
elf. Yeah.
yeah, the elf.
Well, he's in this episode, which I was like,
I know,
wow,
and I was
there's
like, oh
a
yeah, what's
long
his name? I don't
flashback
remember.
with this guy, with the
They
Australian
say
elf
his name
guy.
a bunch of times in this episode, and I'm like, I don't remember his name. Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
and they do because she's so mad that he's dead.
She's still, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of her whole motivation for this season is like she's mad that he's dead.
Yeah. What is his name? His name is
Elnor.
Elnor, yes. Which even sounds like an elf name. I think that's.
It sounds like an elf name. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
Does not help.
But anyway, we can start the episode now. But I really don't like Raffi like at all. So that was what I was thinking about when I was watching this episode. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Out of Contreks, a show where two guys who've seen part of Star Trek try to watch all of it in no particular order. I'm Ryan Howard.
And I'm Brady Jungle.
And today we're talking about Mercy, which is what Elvis would used to say. But also, Picard Season 2, Episode 8 is written by Cindy Apple and Kristen Bayer, and it's directed by Joe Menendez. And the memory alpha synopsis is, with time running out before the launch of the Europa mission, Picard and Guinan must free themselves from FBI custody. Seven and Raffi come face to face with Girardi and the horror of what she's become. Also, I forgot to. I was just looking over they also have kind of a weird crediting list for the for Picard, and I was like, oh yeah, I would maybe put Jack Crusher as one of my least favorite main people who has been credited as a main cast member.
Jack Crusher.
Yeah.
And I was really supposed to too. They really wanted you to like Jack Crusher. And be like, don't you want to see another series starring this guy? Fan favorite Jack Crusher? The cool one?
So the only two people who are credited in all three seasons of Picard are Picard and Raffi.
Oh, that's right. She's still in. She's the only one that makes it to season 3. Oh.
Yeah. Well, because Seven's in season 1 a lot, but she's like a special guest star or something, and then she gets promoted. And then because it's like Girardi is done after season 2. Issa Briones plays a different character in season 2, and then she's not in season 3. Eleanor is in only the first 2 seasons. I truly forgot that Laris and Talon were even on the show, or that they were credited as being cast members.
She's in season 2. Yeah,
she's in season 2. Yeah, then Jack Crusher is only in season 3, and then Santiago Cabrera, who plays Rios, he gets the whiff in both seasons 1 and 2, and then Narek, the other hot Romulan, gets the Anne in season 1, and then Brett Spiner gets the Anne in season 2. I completely forgot.
I mean, I've forgotten so much of season 1. I forgot that there was the hot Romulans until just now.
Yeah. Brent Spiner gets the Anne in season 2, and then there's all the special guest stars in season 3 of all the
right, which is just all the
TNG
cast of Next Generation.
Anyway, so it's a fascinating episode when we've spent 20 minutes not talking about it. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Let's go here. So I think before, I can't remember if I said this in the record or not, but there's a bit in this. I really had forgotten all about this. I didn't watch the previous on as is our remit, I feel like. And I was like,
I do watch the previously on, but yeah. It
really was I was like, man, there's so much about this season of the show that I really don't remember the specifics. It's I could tell you basically what happens in this season, which is that Picard meets some Borg that change the past, and then they have to go back in time to an alternate 2024, and then but the Borg Queen infects Girardi, and also Q is dying, and he's doing all of this to test Picard, and then
by the end of this episode I was just I thought I understood what Q was doing, and now I'm just why is Q doing any of the things Q is doing?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Yeah, and then they go back to the future, and because Girardi is the Borg Queen, then they actually the Borg.
The Borg Queen is good and nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is like a really interesting thing.
Until season 3, when the Borg is bad again, and there is no mention of Jurati.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about that recently, and they're like, from what this person was saying, I don't know how verified this is publicly, but from what this person was saying was basically like the people who made Picard really kind of wanted to do season 3 of Picard like the entire time. Like they were like, let's do TNG reunion.
They just wanted like a TNG reunion, yeah.
And Stewart was kind of like, no, like let's do something more about my character and have it be more like, you know, interiority based and stuff. And they were like, okay, fine. And then like it didn't really work. And then they were like, well, can we please do this? And then he was like, fine. But he wasn't super excited about it, you know, like, so like he's maybe a little more checked out. It is interesting because I was listening to, they were talking about this on Blank Check recently because they did all of the TNG movies on their commentary series earlier this year. And that was interesting too, where they were kind of saying that like, kind of like the desires of some of the different cast members really animate a lot of those movies where Stewart is kind of like wanting to make sure that like his character is well served in different ways, and like he didn't really feel like that in Generations, so then he gets to kind of be like an action star in First Contact, but that one is way more focused on him than it is, and so then he kind of it's like getting to like, you know, be like a sexual being in like the third one, but it doesn't really work.
Sure.
But also Brent Spiner is like, please kill me in the third one, and they're like, no. And so then like, you know, like, so there's just, it's just interesting. That, like he was like, you gotta kill me in the third one. And they're like, fine. And then they don't do it, but then he gets they put a little sticky note in his script that says like, we'll kill you next time. Like, and they do obviously which is funny because it's funny now because it's like, then like, since he's been killed, like, I feel like Star Trek has largely been animated by Brent Spiner continuing to be on it. Like, you know,
sure.
Because there can't be like that many actors who have played more different characters than Brent Spiner on Star Trek, you know.
Right.
He's in this episode playing, you know, not Data.
A different Soong. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. According to how many different characters he has played, according to Memory Alpha, he is one of only 6 actors to play 7 or more different characters in the Star Trek franchise.
Okay.
You know, can you think of any of the other people?
I mean, I'm assuming Jeffrey Combs has got to be one, right?
Yes, Jeffrey Combs.
Let's see. The thing is, like, are you gonna get it? Because like people, I'm sure have played like, I guess how much do you count like hologram version of blank or like mirror version of blank? Is Armin Shimmerman one? Because he's played a bunch of Ferengi.
No,
I don't think he played.
The only other person who I recognize on here is
J.G. Hertzler.
J.G. Hertzler, yeah, he was
the other one I was going to guess because I know he's been a bunch of Klingons.
There's somebody named Randy Oglesby who he is just like kind of a guy who just plays a lot of stuff. Like his most notable character is somebody named Degra on Star Trek Enterprise, a character who I don't know who that is. He's this indie guy, I guess. And then Vaughn Armstrong, who is most notable.
He's the admiral in Enterprise, right?
Yes, he is.
He was that many different characters.
Yeah, he also played.
I know he was in something.
A Romulan, a Borg, a Vidian, a Kritasan, a Hirogen, 2 Cardassians, and 3 Klingons.
Okay.
And then the other guy is
in the background. Sure.
Thomas Kapachi, who he is most famous for. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm looking at his pictures of his guys. Oh, I guess probably most notably he played Kira's dad in a couple episodes of DS9. So, but yeah. Anyway, so all right, we're talking for 25 minutes. All right, good. Let's talk about the episode.
All right. Okay, just pull this up because I didn't write down much about the actual plot. So it's one of those, like, everyone's kind of in different places doing different things.
Mm-hmm.
So Picard and like young Guinan have been captured by the FBI.
Yes.
And so they're kind of like
they've been captured by like basically like
Jeffrey
Scully
Tambor
from the
Muppets
X-Files.
in Space.
Oh,
okay,
sure. Okay,
Scully
different
X-Files.
different point of reference, but yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh man, I wish I was watching Muppets in Space instead of this. Not even one of the better Muppet movies, but Nothing in this
Yeah.
that is as good as RU3.
Now this one says RU3. One of my favorite jokes is RU3. But yes, he's like the same character and same character arc. But
yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. The one of the things that bothers me about this section of the episode is a thing that bothered me the whole season. I remember, which is that like Guinan is played by another actor who sort of, kind of, I guess, looks like Whoopi Goldberg, but not really. Like she looks like Whoopi Goldberg if Whoopi Goldberg was like worked out a lot, like like. But it's like I know that you can't just have Whoopi Goldberg be in this because she looked different then, but like.
Yeah, and like she's got stuff going on, like.
Well, but I say she's supposed to be younger, but like Whoopi Goldberg, though, we know that she looked like Whoopi Goldberg during this time period because, like,
because
she looks like Whoopi Goldberg in the Mark Twain
times.
episode. Yeah, like so, I'm just like, well, that's not what Whoopi Goldberg looked like. I know that what she looked like in this. I know what that character looked like right now, which is that she looked like Whoopi Goldberg in the '90s.
Right. Yeah, that's apparently how.
Small thing, but like I was just like, I don't know. You don't have to have Guinan in the show, or you don't have to have her
there's a lot about like,
or just like have something where she goes back and it's actually Whoopi Goldberg. Like, who cares? You can figure that out. Like, it's not. It's all made up. Like, do whatever you want. Like,
right. Data looks like whenever they've done Data, he looks like the old Brent Spiner with a ton of.
Yeah, no one's like, oh man, we got to get a hot Data because, like, yeah, no one's doing that. Like, just have to be Whoopi Goldberg.
Anyway. So this guy's like interrogating them, and he's like convinced that they're aliens that are trying to stop the shuttle launch that like Picard's ancestor is going to be on.
I kind of liked this guy because, like, if I'm grasping at like straws for things to say positively about this, I did kind of like this guy because I liked that he is just like, you're aliens, and they're like, we're not aliens, and he's like, no, you are. Like I like that he is just kind of like not having it, like like I appreciated his tenacity.
Picard keeps kind of being like, but the joke is that I'm actually human, and that's true. I'm just from the future, and he's just like, you're aliens though. So what are aliens trying to do? Yeah, but he's very much the just like, they all thought I was crazy. And, like, no one believes that, but, like, I saw aliens when I was a little kid. And, like, have kind of been obsessed by, like, trying to prove that aliens are real. And so, like, this is my chance to prove it. Meanwhile, so Jurati has already been, like, taken over by the Borg Queen. So, like, she's sort of, like, escaped in this kind of rampaging. And so Seven and Raffi are trying to, like, track her down and get her back, and then meanwhile hash out their relationship drama. And so they're kind of like following her trail, and so there's all this stuff where Raffi's like, well, just just think like a Borg and like do what a Borg would do, and Seven's just like, I'm not a Borg anymore, but then she still like knows what the Borg would do. Pretty
racist honestly from Raffi, where she's like, you're a Borg, right? Like, I think I remember like feeling that way the first time I watched it as well.
Yeah, and so then they find out like she was like at this bar and like kind of like broke the window and stuff, and then left with a guy, and so they kind of like try to track and then find that she killed that guy and ate his cell phone, and they're just like, like she was getting like the lithium out of the battery.
Another thing I kind of like, I'm like, I like the idea that she's just like eating phones.
Yeah, but then my problem with it then became that then they find like this like row of cars that she's eating the batteries out of, which there's one thing where it's just like, because like the camera kind of pans like from one car to another car to another car, and then you finally get to a car and like she's just like sitting on top of it like eating the battery, when like in real life you would just see her first because they're all like in a row and she's just right there. But also like cars have a different type of battery. Like car batteries I think are all like lead acid batteries still, which is
I mean
from, like a lithium battery.
I can't be too bothered by that.
Okay,
but I respect your commitment to. I know you're a real gearhead, so I respect your commitment to I'm just messing with you. No, that's it's legit. It's legit. I
No,
just
but
like
it's
I'm like I don't know. They want to give her.
I
They
learned
want to
about
give her.
batteries in like high school.
They want to give her an
class.
excuse to eat a battery. Like I'm fine with
Sure.
that. You know.
Sure. But yeah, and then like I'm just gonna do what we do with these shows sometimes, where I'm just gonna kind of do like each.
Yeah.
Like these all happen kind of out of order with each other, but
it's fine.
But yeah, so she like kind of like runs over towards them and like grabs Raffi by the throat and is trying to like choke her, and Seven gets sort of like knocked down to the ground, and then Girardi kind of like has like just enough control that she makes the poor queen like let Raffi go instead of killing her, and then she runs off. And so they're just like, oh, there must be like some bit of her still like alive in there. Rios is just like back on the ship, getting hit on by the like noble nurse.
Another character I totally forgot about.
Yeah,
totally had no
that's just
memory
kind
of
of
this
like
character.
again like she's just found out that like time travelers and aliens have come from the future, and like the world is shattered. The Borg are about to assimilate the Earth, and she like is just like, yeah, but what if like I sit down with this hot guy and like kind of hit on him of just like, why don't you tell me, like pretend that we've been married for years and like tell me about how we fell in love. And it's just like I don't know why this scene is happening right now in the middle of this, and like is not what this person would be doing, but yeah, they're falling in love so that he can be.
And like he's like letting like the kids like eat, like use the replicator to like make, you know, replicated food or whatever.
So then there's some scenes with Issa Briones, who in this season is playing like
a clone.
Basically like, yeah, that Soong was trying to invent human cloning, and so like at first she thinks that like she's his daughter, but she's got like a bunch of health problems, which is like she can't leave their.
She can't go outside, I think, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, she can't go outside because like the sun or like toxins in the air or like whatever like would like she has no immune system and wouldn't be able to like fight it off. And she like this is where she finds out, because I think Q like told her, or like hacked into her computer or whatever and like told her that like she was actually just like this like cloning experiment, and like he had tried a bunch of other times, and she's like the last one that has actually survived.
Okay, so like now I'm certainly willing to believe that I just don't remember, but like did they explain why his clone just happens to look like the person that Data made from, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, I do know.
Do they talk about that?
Yes.
Like do they talk about like why Issa Briones, like this? I don't like, because it's like in the first season there's like a painting or something, I think, that like Data is like, Data has this idea for making like a daughter or like
although what then I'm trying to remember like where does that paint, because Data's just, where is Data in, because Data's not like alive in season 1, right? He's just like in like a little,
well, he is, he's in like a hard drive. That's true. Yeah. I don't know, but I was just like,
but is he still probably, he makes the painting at some point. Does that happen in the past?
That's an old paint. It happens in the past.
Okay. That like Data made this, so at some point Data was like Data has this idea of what his daughter would look like, and it's Issa Briones, and so then when they make more androids, they look like that because they're using like Data's programming still.
All right, so I'm looking. Okay. I'm looking up Corey Soon on Memory Alpha. This episode is way longer than I thought it was going to be.
But she was a real person, right? Like,
well, she's a clone. She's a
right, but she actually like existed in the past.
Yes.
Okay.
So
before Data,
she's
any other
fatally sensitive to sunlight and air pollution. She learned that she was not the first clone. She hacked into her father's computers from a public library and deleted all of his research data for some reason. And then she got it It says that she was allergic to sunlight and air pollution, but it doesn't say how she managed to not have that anything bad happen to her later.
No, that happens in this one because Q gives her this little like vial of blue stuff.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Makes her. That's what makes her like no longer allergic. So then this episode ends with like she takes the vial of blue stuff and then just like walks away because she like kind of blows up at Soong and is just like, you never like loved me, I'm not your real daughter, and like all you care about is like whether or not the experiment succeeds. And he's like kind of half-heartedly like, no, I care about you.
Yeah, which I kind of like. I think that like Spiner is one of the better performances in this episode, I think.
Well, this is the thing. Like, because like you were, I don't think you talked like specifically said this in the last episode, but you texted to me about like in the Discovery episode we watched how like Tig Notaro is so good that she just kind of like it almost makes everybody else look bad.
Yes.
And the problem with this is like there's so many good actors on this show that it really just makes the show itself look bad, right? Like how do you have John Delancey, Jerry Ryan, Patrick Stewart, and Brent Spiner, who are like maybe four of like across all of Star Trek the best actors.
Yeah.
And then like
Alison Pill, who I've liked in other stuff, like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I think you have more because you've seen Alison Pill and other stuff. Like you like her a lot more. Like I just really dislike the character of Jurati, especially even more in the first season.
The first season, she's pretty rough, I think. Yeah.
That like, yeah, but like by all accounts, is like a really good actor based on other things she's done. That like, how is this still so bad? How did you mess up with like that? Like that even these people couldn't save it, right? Because like John Delancey is giving it, even in this like his one scene in this episode, he's giving whatever nonsense they give him, like everything he's got. Yeah, Spiner I think is like doing his best, but just.
So do you remember what happens to Corey Soon?
I do.
In the
Yes,
show?
I do.
She joins the Traveler. Joins Wesley.
Yeah,
Wesley the Traveler.
Wesley Crusher shows up and convinces her to like become.
All right, so even on Memory Alpha, there's 3 paragraphs for Corey Soon's background information. Sure. Corey Soon was played by Issa Briones, who also portrayed the 24th century characters Soji, Daj, Sutra, and Jana, who were all created by Adam's descendant Alton. So they were made by Alton Soon. And then it says Corey is an ancient Greek word meaning girl. It was also the name for the goddess Persephone. And then it says it was never clarified whether Adam was also the genetic progenitor of Corey and her sisters, or if their DNA was sourced from different donors. So
So whatever the reason that all of the Soongs look like Brent Spiner, like for some reason also there's this like weird genetic memory of Issa Briones that when the other
because so Soji was created by Bruce Maddox and Alton Soon. The 2 men had salvaged the memories and a single positronic neutron of Data and used these to create new synthetic synths through fractal neuronic cloning. So I guess it would have to be like, I don't know. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like
it doesn't.
It's like I guess that
we contracted Issa Briones for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason they hadn't written Soji into this one.
All right, yeah. So it's like, okay, so it says Soji and Daj, in addition to the earlier pair of Jana and Sutra, shared their appearance with a painting by Data called Daughter. The painting itself was evidently based. It says evidently because they never say that it was evidently based on the appearance of Corey Soong and her sisters, genetically engineered by humans created by Adam Soong. So, but it's like, so Data painted a painting of Corey Soong who was Daughter. So it's like, I guess Data in this must have known about Corey Soong and called it Daughter because she was the daughter of one of the ancestors of the person who made him. Like it's like, what are you talking about? Like that's crazy, man. Like that's, and then like they just don't really do anything with it because she just leaves the show. Like it doesn't really.
Right. She doesn't
end up nothing going on. Like, I mean, I do think that it does feel pretty clear to me that like partway through making season 2 of Picard, they were like, okay, well, we're going to make season 3 of Picard and it's going to be like that. So I guess we just have to we have to get rid of all of you guys. And like, thanks, for
It does, yeah, especially with, like, Rios very much just gets written off. Like, the last episode is just like, and Rios decided to stay in the past because he loves this
yeah.
nurse.
Yeah, because
You'll
it
never
is.
see
There's
him
kind of
again.
like, okay, like Girardi. That one is crazy because I'm just like, I do feel like season 2 of that show ends in kind of an interesting place where you're sort of like, okay, it
Yeah,
annoys me in the same way that like the season 5 of finale of Discovery annoys me, where it's like, all right,
yeah,
well,
you've made a
we
new
could,
Borg now that you can do
yeah, there's a
things
new
with.
Borg, and we could be cooperating, and there'd be something interesting in there, and they're like, no, 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 like we're done with that, go away, like and it's like, again, similar to season 5 of Discovery, where you're like, okay, well, we could enter like a new phase where like humans can create life, but we're not going to, like, because we have something else that's going on, we have to deal with that, and yeah, and
Sure.
it very much feels like that, where they're like, all right, we know we're gonna do this, reunion show for TNG, so we'll keep Seven and I guess Raffi for some reason, and then everybody else has got to go. So we'll kill you. We'll keep you in the past. You become a Borg. You get to go live with Wesley, I guess. We're kind of like
Yeah.
we're doling out like the retirement packages for your characters, periodically throughout
Right.
the show. But yeah, that's what's going on with that, and that's basically about it. Like, Q is very briefly in that scene where he's kind of like, I'm mad that I'm dying and there's no point to it or something. Like it is, I don't know.
Yeah, he has like a interaction with Guinan where he kind of tries to give some exposition of he's just like, Qs are supposed to be immortal, but then like I kind of felt like I sort of saw that my life was going to have an end. But now I'm just sort of like dwindling away and like losing my powers. And he's just like, I was potentially excited about the idea of like dying and like kind of as this new frontier, but instead I'm just sort of like in this weird state of I kind of have some powers but not, and then but then he keeps being like, I didn't do this to Picard. Picard did this to himself, and I'm just, but like it makes it even less clear like what Q's
Yeah,
goal is here, because he's like trying to mess stuff up for Picard, because then he's the one like he like does like engineers this stuff so that Corey leaves, which makes Soong like kind of go into this like depression, which then means, does Q ever talk to Soong, or is it just Girardi that comes and talks to
I
Soong?
don't, because I'm trying to remember, because at the end,
Because then Girardi comes and talks to Soong, or like the Borg Queen, and because she's from the future, she's like, there's two possibilities here, and like one is that because she's trying to stop but why is she trying to stop the shuttle from launching?
I'm willing to believe that
She
there's a motivation for that like we just don't remember from
okay.
either from this episode or from
Yeah. But she basically
something that
tells him like,
happens.
you have to kill Picard and like stop this shuttle from launching, because if the shuttle launches, then like humanity becomes like great and noble and everybody forgets you. But if the shuttle doesn't launch, then like 2025 happens, and like humanity's only hope is the like great science of Adam Soong, and you become this like famous savior of humanity. And he's like, okay. And so then she convinced him to help her like kill Picard, and so he like gets like an army for her to assimilate, and then they're gonna go attack, like try to get the ship, because then if they have the technology of the ship, then she has all the power she needs to like assimilate Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think like this, yeah. But like Q is also like trying to kind of make this happen too.
Yeah, I don't think Q ever talks. I'm just looking. I don't think Q ever talks to Soong,
Okay.
but he does talk to the Queen, and so I think this is the thing is I don't really remember like. I'm willing to say that this is not a flaw in the show. This is like not even a flaw. But this is like a quirk of how we watch the show. But like, I don't really remember why they need to stop their Euro permission from happening. Do you?
It's because I think that's the turn. So that's the thing. That's the like kind of inflection point that leads to the whole like alternate future from the second episode, where like it's like there's space Nazis, is like that happens because for some reason they're like that happens because the Europa mission didn't happen. Like that's the point in history that's different that they have to go back and change. That also happens to be is it because it's Picard's ancestor? Because then this also like for some reason wraps up into Picard's family. Because remember, like again, like it's not even in this episode. This is the season with like flashbacks to like
which I was very
French urchin Picard and his French mom with.
Yeah, I was very pleased.
Like,
actually, all right. We should be done soon, honestly. But like, okay. So the Europa mission was an interplanetary mission where astronauts from Earth took a space flight to the Jovian moon of Europa. So one of them was one of Picard's ancestors.
Yes.
And then on launch day, and this doesn't really explain it because it says Dr. Adam Soon attempted to kill Renee with fast-acting neurotoxin, but it doesn't say why, though. I mean, it doesn't say why the Borg Queen wants him to do that.
So I think we're reading the same thing, because I think the next one is that like what they end up doing is kind of discovering that there's a possibility of life on other planets, which then kind of leads to this like renaissance of like humanity, like then does more science and fixes the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it doesn't happen, then they turn to Adam Soong, and then like the world goes bad because he's bad, and that's what leads to the alternate, like the bad humans.
But why does she want the bad future though?
I don't remember.
That's what we're both bumping
that's I think what I don't get is I don't like that's the different, like I understand why the heroes of the show are trying to make sure it happens. I don't remember why any of the bad people like why are trying to stop it from happening, other than they're bad.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Maybe in between this next episode and the next one, maybe next time I'll look it up and we can explain it in the next episode or something. I
won't ask you to do that.
Well, I am kind of curious now. Anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of how it happens. It ends with, then there's another thing. So when Guinan is talking with Q, he like makes some little comment at the end of it of like, like Picard's trapped in the past, just like humans always are. And then Guinan, like, because he said that, Guinan figures out that the reason that this FBI guy is the way he is because something must have happened in his past. And then she astrally projects to tell Picard that, which is apparently a thing she can do. And then Picard like asks this guy like, what happened to you when you were a child? And this guy like breaks down and tells this story of how he met a Vulcan. And Picard's like, okay, well, since you told me that, now I'll tell you the truth, which is, and kind of explains to him what's happening. And the guy's like, okay, well then I'll let you go.
Yeah, because he thought that the Vulcans were trying to kill him. And he was like, oh no, they were actually
like just trying
they were trying to mind meld you so that you wouldn't remember this traumatic event happening. And it didn't work because he got beamed away before you could do it.
Before it finished, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last scene is Soong gets basically gets like a sort of mercenary army, and Jurati starts like assimilating all of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where it ends. Is now she's got like an army of Borg, and they're gonna go because they're gonna go attack. They're gonna go attack the ship.
Yeah. Well, and again, just a perfect example of like the writing on the show is there like the last line of the episode is, who's in the mood to add a little of their biological or technological distinctiveness to our own? Like, it's like, okay.
Right. It's so tortured.
Yeah. Sure, man.
And so meaningless to everyone there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. So that was the episode.
Yeah.
Kind of a tough one. Yeah, I don't know, man. I remember this season I really wanted to go there with it. I liked like some of what it was doing, and then I just remember like this season just really feeling like it just kind of like they have a good setup and they're like, all right, and then it's like that South Park thing of like, all right, step 1 do this, step 2 do this,
sure.
step 3 question mark question mark
Yeah.
question mark so for profit it is
it's very.
it does kind of feel like
because like again I don't think we've watched any season 2 since it came out. We've watched very little Picard in general, but I feel like I remembered season 2 being pretty good. I think that's
I don't remember it being pretty good. I think I remember
that's
it
just
liking
because
it
of the
more.
ending. I remember the end. I feel like the ending was so good that I'm just like, oh yeah, I have fond feelings for this. And then I watched this episode and I was just like, this is bad. Like this is just fully a bad episode.
Yeah, I remember not really liking any of the seasons, but I think that like the first 2 seasons they both get like one of the characters gets to like have a good death scene, although that is obviously then
and then both of them are undone later on.
Yeah, they both are. That's right, because I forgot because that there's that insane ending of season 3.
Yep.
Where Q is just there.
Q just shows up and is just like, "Hey, Jack Crusher, you want to have another series?"
Yeah, and then that is, I will say, that is like
it's that one's not as bad because I think he does like this sort of thing of just like, oh, like like. Time for me is not linear. I'm actually like a previous version of it. So like Q still died, but I'm just like an earlier version of him or something.
Yeah.
But
we have done a season episode. We've done the premiere of Picard. We did that 9 months ago.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, or but then
I think our reaction to that one was also the same of just like I feel like I remember this show started well, and then we're just like, oh, that was the second episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say that does. When I think about like the ending of season 3 of Picard, I am kind of like, well, I am kind of a sick man because like part of me is like, I don't know, I would have watched that show, I guess, even though it's like, I don't like Jack Crusher at all, and it probably wouldn't have been that good, but it would have had Seven on it.
If it was
and
just
maybe
like the
Q,
gang getting back together.
Yeah, like
oh, you would watch the Jack Crusher show?
Yeah, whatever that show was called. I don't remember what they said it had a call like Star Trek. I don't know, United or something. I don't remember what it was called. But like,
sure, of like where Seven's the captain and who?
Yeah, I mean, like you just say like, what if Seven was the captain? They should make a show that's called like Star Trek Rescue Mission, and it's just like a show where all the good people from the bad Paramount Plus shows get to come and be on a good show, and it's like Seven's there, and
Saru for some reason.
Saru is there, and Jet Reno, and like the Admiral from Discovery, and maybe like holographic Janeway from Prodigy can come.
Sure.
And I mean, they kind of are doing that with Starfleet Academy because I think.
I was about to say, I think Starfleet Academy is like trying to. I think she's going to like. I think she's one of the ones that's like going to be in some episodes.
Yeah, because I know the Admiral is in it.
She's going to appear in it, but the Admiral's in it.
There's one or two other people too. I think. Yeah.
Is Robert Picardo in it?
Robert Picardo's in it. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see about that. But anyway, we'll see about that.
I mean, Ethan Phillips is still gunning for Phlox to show up somewhere.
Not Ethan Phillips. What's his name?
Not Ethan Phillips.
John Billingsley, right?
John Billingsley. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. They should do that. They should have him. He should be in Strange New Worlds. That's what he was saying. He said he should be in Strange New Worlds.
Oh, sure.
They should put him in that.
Yeah, maybe denobulins live for a long time, and
yeah, who knows? We haven't said they don't. Like, yeah, that would rule. I would be genuinely so excited if that happened.
Yeah, I think he said something about like, or it could just be like he could just have a son named Flix.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I feel like he's pretty universally liked. Like, I mean, he could be on Star Trek Rescue Mission also. It's like, get him in there,
Yeah.
Well, we should probably call it there. I think we've jumped on the slot. So, I know it's been a journey going through some of these Paramount Plus shows, but we have a couple of other series coming up here. So we come out every other week. In 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about Things Past, which is DS9, Season 5, Episode 8. I don't remember which one this is, but I'm excited to watch it. In the meantime, you can check us out on Blue Sky at Contreks. You can email us at outofcontreks@gmail.com. You can visit our website at outofcontreks.podbean.com, or you can follow us on YouTube at Out of Contreks. Contreks is spelled Contreks. You can also check out the other shows in the Kaleidoscope Media Podcast Network. There is Wizard Studies, which is a Harry Potter podcast. There's That Set No Science Force, which is a science and pop culture podcast. And there is Here's Johnny, which is a horror media podcast. So check those folks out, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.